Some things happen fast, like a vacuum finding your lost earring. A dog reacting to the word walk. And settling up with friends on the PayPal app. Send and receive money in seconds. Access your balance to send, shop, pay bills, and more. Download the PayPal app to get started. An account with PayPal is required to send and receive money. A PayPal balance account is required to hold and use a balance.
If you've ever blasted synth beats from your boombox or burned CDs for your besties, this one's for you. As people get older, much like their music tastes, their health needs change. AG1 is the simple daily health drink designed to deliver over 75 essential daily nutrients and pre- and probiotics to support energy, digestion, and mood, so you can make the most out of every decade and dance break. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
I'm JJ Virgin, PhD dropout, sorry mom, turned 4-time New York Times bestselling author. Yes, I'm a certified nutrition specialist, fitness Hall of Famer, and I speak at health conferences and trainings around the globe. But I'm driven by my insatiable curiosity and love of science to keep asking questions, digging for answers, and sharing the information I uncover with as many people as I can. And that's why I created the Well Beyond 40 podcast, to synthesize and simplify the science of health into actionable strategies to help you thrive. In each episode, we'll talk about what's working in the world of wellness, from personalized nutrition and healing your metabolism to healthy aging and prescriptive fitness. Join me on the journey to better health so you can love how you look and feel right now and have the energy to play full out at 100.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Do you feel like you are spending endless hours on the elliptical and the fat just isn't budging? Well, I've dug into this science to give you the most effective way to do cardio for fat loss so that you can get the results you want without wasting time. And I'm going to guide you through the optimal cardio strategy that maximizes fat loss, explain how not all body fat is created equal, and what this means for your health. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what you need to do to drop that fat, especially that stubborn belly fat. So first of all body fat is not the same. There's really two types I want you to think about. There's subcutaneous fat. That's the fat you know. It's right below the skin. You've heard pinch and inch. That's subcutaneous fat. The other fat is visceral adipose tissue. This is actually the damaging fat. While we might not love subcutaneous fat, it's not the stuff that's going to kill us. Now, to lose fat overall, you're going to need to be in a calorie deficit, and we're going to talk about that. To lose visceral adipose tissue, there's actually some specific strategies that you need to deploy to get rid of that. All right, so let's dig into that calorie deficit. Here's the important thing to remember here. More energy flux is better for your body. What do I mean? I mean, eat more and move more. Don't eat less and move less. There are three things that impact your metabolism. First of all, you've got your resting metabolic or basal metabolic rate. And that's how many calories you would burn at rest if you literally did nothing. Now, what impacts this? Your age, your sex, genetics, but the things that you can do to shift this are resistance training, because more muscle means a better resting metabolic rate. Make sure your thyroid's functioning well, and make sure you have estrogen on board, because estrogen can drop your metabolism by 200 calories a day. So having a humming basal metabolic rate is important, and this is about 50 to 60% of your overall calories. Next up is digestion. This is called the thermic effect of food. It accounts for about 5 to to 10% of your overall caloric expenditure each day. How do you push this up? You make sure that you are eating protein first and getting the optimal amount of protein in for your body, because protein is the most thermic of all of the macronutrients. And then finally, activity. Now, when I say activity, I'm looking at exercise and activity. And this is about 15 to 30% of your overall calorie expenditure each day. Obviously, we want to push it, right? More like 30%. Now, activity is very modifiable. Use a tracking device. I like to use an Oura Ring. You can use an Apple Watch. You could use a Fitbit or a Garmin. But what you're going to do is connect that up to your phone, and you're going to monitor how many steps you move each day. Track it for a week and see what your average is per day over the week. So every day, add them up, divide by 7, you got your average. Your goal is to get this number to 8 to 12,000 or more. But 8,000 should be your floor, and 12,000 should be your stretch goal. This is your first step. Bonus points, we want to get in some of that walking after you eat. Why? Especially in the evening. It's going to improve digestion. It's going to lower blood sugar response. It's going to help you sleep better. Now, I'm going to give you some stuff to really lock this in. They did a study where they gave obese and overweight adults a goal of 10,000 steps per day. And what they found was it actually resulted in significant weight loss. It lowered their body mass index. It lowered their body fat percentage. It dropped their waist and hip circumferences in 36 weeks. Now, another one had a daily goal of 12,000 steps. And what they found with this one is that they had improved hip circumference, visceral fat tissue, that whole visceral adipose tissue went down, and lipid profiles went down as well. And then there was another walking program with 10,000 steps that was done over 12 weeks that showed reduced anxiety, depression, anger, fatigue, confusion, body weight, waist circumference, and body fat percentage. So, I mean, there's study after study after study showing how well this works. I'm going to tell you one other cool study and then why this is the next piece I add. So there was a study where they looked at 3 groups, control group. Okay, we'll put that to the side. They had the walking group, and then they had the walking with intensity group. And they had them walking 12,000 steps a day. But the walking with intensity, 3 times a week, they said, hey, for 30 minutes, just push your intensity. And that group had even better results in terms of their body composition, fat loss, etc. You do your 8 to 12,000 steps. Now you know your 8,000 is your floor, non-negotiable. I literally will do this every single day. If I'm traveling or something where I'm like, shoot, I'm only at 5 or 6,000, I do whatever it takes to make sure I get to that 8,000 minimum. But really my goal is 12,000 or more. Once you've got that in, here's the next step. Add some intensity. How do you add some intensity into that? You can do, the simplest thing is a rucking vest. So you can do that. You can add in maybe some jogging. You can add in some hills. You can speed up your walk. Anything you can do to add the intensity in. What we can also do there that can help with some of this visceral adipose tissue and help with overall calorie burn is also add in a little bit more intensity there as well. So let's say that you're walking every day. Maybe you can go out and in your walks add in some sprints. Right? Push as hard as you can and then recover, and push as hard as you can and recover. What we know is that when you add in some of that intensity, it can be really good for dropping overall body fat. Now, let's dig more into visceral adipose tissue, because we're talking about how to use cardio to lose fat. But if you specifically really want to target that visceral adipose tissue, you've got to go beyond just the cardio piece of it. Turns out there's a couple things that also impact this. Number 1 is sugar and fructose and alcohol. Number 2 are stress and sleep. So let me first unpack the sugar, fructose, alcohol. There was actually a study done in 2017 where fructose intake was restricted for 9 days with obese children, and they decreased their liver fat. And again, this was 9 days, from 7.2% to 3.8%, and their visceral fat volume decreased from 123 centimeters to 110 centimeters in 9 days. That's crazy that you could have that kind of an impact on visceral and liver fat. There's been several studies showing that people who have more added sugar in their diet actually have more visceral adipose tissue as well. Similarly with alcohol, there was a study of 1,000 men that showed that alcohol consumption is linked to more visceral adipose tissue. And after all of this visceral adipose tissue and liver fat, now it's called non-alcoholic liver fat, but it used to be called alcoholic. And drink alcohol and have more fat accumulation around your organs, which of course is going to increase your risk of metabolic syndrome and all sorts of other health issues. Now, the other thing beyond sugar and alcohol that can do this is stress, because excess stress can increase visceral adipose tissue. And we know that women who are under excess stress can have a higher waist to hip ratio, and they tend to produce more cortisol when they're stressed. So one of the things that happens is we have more cortisol receptors in our belly area. And so this is one of the things that can happen, is it can make you lay down more belly fat. Sleep is also an issue for this. There was a 6-year study of 300 people that found that just by increasing sleep from 6 hours a day to 7 to 8 hours a day reduced their visceral fat gain by, get this, 26%. When I think about really getting your body to burn fat, one of the things that's super effective, we've got to get into that caloric deficit with your diet, but the other really important thing here is to combine that cardio routine with strength training as well. Be sure to join me next time for more tools, tips, and techniques you can incorporate into everyday life to ensure you look and feel great and are built to last. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and my website, jjvirgin.com, and make sure to follow my podcast at subscribetojj.com so you don't miss a single episode. And hey, if you're loving what you hear, don't forget to leave a review. Your reviews make a big difference in helping me reach more incredible women just like you to spread the word about aging powerfully after 40. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Hey, JJ here, and just a reminder that the Well Beyond 40 podcast offers health, wellness, fitness, and nutritional information that's designed for educational and entertainment purposes only. You should not rely on this information as a substitute for, nor does it replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have any concerns or questions about your health, you should always consult with a physician or other healthcare professional. Make sure that you do not disregard, avoid, or delay obtaining medical or health-related advice from your healthcare professional because of something you may have heard on the show or read in our show notes. The use of any information provided on the show is solely at your own risk.